rounding third. He is safe. Okay, coming at you. Happy Easter. Sunday morning edition. It's the Joe Show. The Joe and Joe Show. The Joe and Joe Show. Hottest topics north of the tropics. Commemorating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. That's Happy Easter for the Christian believers.
Yes,
according to the New Testament.
Happy Easter, everybody.
We hope we caught everybody.
Yes, Happy Easter.
In a good day. It's a beautiful day out there. No chemtrails yet. But, Little Joe, we got some new breaking news this week of a new family edition.
Yeah, I'm actually a grandfather. Parker Ryan Scobie is in the world. Congratulations to Lauren and Keith Scobie. We want to wish them all the best and their new parents. And, I think they're on their way to do something great with that kid.
I'll be the great-grandfather. He'll be the grandfather. Anyway, a lot of news, a lot of topics in this short segment of a Sunday edition. Happy Easter Day. We have some global news. I mean, just to reiterate what's going on, the Notre Dame fire, they say, was started by a short circuit in the wiring. My take on that is, who was doing the wiring? What electrical union were those guys belonging to? It happens. Believe you me, it happens. But it went up in flames pretty quick.
Yeah, it did. I mean, and they're going to rebuild it, but it's going to take a couple of years, and I don't know.
Millions of dollars have poured in to get the cathedral rebuilt within 5 years, as the French president said. But let me give you another side take on that, since we're going to go through a lot of topics today. Don Lemon, head of CNN, said millions have poured in for the cathedral, but not millions have poured in for the rebuilding of the historically 3 black churches that were set fire in Louisiana.
Yeah, you can't compare those. I mean, come on, Don.
Just a racist comment, if you ask me, on his part.
No, I mean, CNN's got to do the race baiting. That's all they got. They got to inflame their base of people that watch CNN, and people that watch CNN, they buy into stuff like that. They really do.
That's true. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. And then another national event this week was Rocket Man did some more testing. And they were saying, we need to monitor that situation and look at it closely. Well, I mean, since there was a stalemate with him and Trump about a month or so ago, I guess he's free to do what he wants to do. But it wasn't the missile testing that can reach the continental U.S. It was something else on a defense mechanism for them, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it. I mean, North Korea is not a threat. I'm sorry.
Okay.
North Korea is not a threat. They're just not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they are. Anyway, nationally, Crazy Joe's about to throw that hat in.
Yeah, we've covered Crazy Joe on the show. He's not going anywhere. But, I mean, nice try. I mean,
no charisma.
Yeah, well, he's not he's supposedly educated, but he's just not that smart of a guy. And
he's 76.
The only reason he has got to that point is because he is on the Council on Foreign Relations. Now, if anybody doesn't know what that is, I'm not really going to go into it here, but just go look up the Council on Foreign Relations. It's basically the de facto real government of the United States.
Okay.
So, I don't know if anybody didn't know that, but I mean, now you know that. Just go look it up. Go look up its origins. Who really pulls the strings on Council on Foreign Relations? And then you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, then the Mueller report, the BS, came out, redacted, retracted, contracted, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me.
Yeah, the Mueller report is... Are the Democrats continuing to double down on this thing? I mean, that's what I don't understand. It's like, come on, there's a large contingent of Democrats that just want to move forward and attack Donald Trump on other things and attack the Republicans or whoever on other things. But, there's some of them that just won't let it die, and I really do truthfully believe they want to see whether or not they're guilty in there, because there's a lot of things that were kept out of the Mueller report because of ongoing investigations. Now, who are those ongoing investigations directed at? That's what I want to know, and that's what we will eventually know.
Right. They're making a book out of it. They're going to be able to buy it at the Dollar Tree for $1 here pretty soon, I'm sure. But anyway, long story short on that, I mean, it seems like this is more hurtful for the Obama administration than trying to corner Trump into impeachment, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to get into something, and if we got the time, did anybody see the whole Julian Assange situation? Anyway, so if you didn't, Julian Assange, the head of WikiLeaks, he was held up in the Ecuadorian embassy for all these years. Well, they finally, quote unquote, arrested him.
Right.
Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. I was watching something, and yeah, I got to be careful when I say this because you'll see what I'm talking about. So I was watching some documentary that was suggesting that Assange was basically an agent of the Mossad, which is the Israeli CIA. And the reason why they released the DNC emails and the Podesta emails is because a few years back when Obama and Hillary were running the show, they stabbed Israel in the back. And Israel ain't forgot. Israel ain't forgot that. And so now they feel like they're done with the Democrat Party, and the Israelis are going to do everything they can to destroy the Democrats. But here's one thing, and and I'm thinking, yes, finally, 200 years of Democrats, God, they're finally gone. But anyway, so you have to be careful here because what replaces them? You get what I'm trying to say? What's going to replace them? Is it, almost like that be careful what you wish for type deal? And, so let's just be careful here now. We need to destroy the Democrats, don't get me wrong. But what's going to replace them? And that's what I'm kind of leery of. But, who knows? Maybe the Israelis are just done with them all the way around, and like the Republicans are finally going to get it together, which I seriously doubt. But we'll see what happens. We'll monitor the situation. That's just something that was suggested on this video I was watching, this thing I was reading, which made a lot of sense.
It sounds like another show once we get all that information in.
Right.
Then we're going to reinvestigate Mueller now. We're going to reinvestigate the Attorney General Barr. So it's never going to end. So, but anyway, another national tidbit, if we got the time in this first segment, is the District Attorney of Tarrant County, I believe, up in Dallas, has presented to the city council that they're not going to prosecute or arrest people for $750 or less of theft from stores or anywhere in Dallas if the theft is needed to maintain a lifestyle of diapers, formula, things that people need to live on. And the Texas Police Commission has come across there and said that's an idiotic type situation that needs to be enforced. In other words, you can go and steal diapers and milk 2 or 3 of us at one time. If we each get under $750, then we can go out in the street and sell it. We won't be prosecuted.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. There's something going on
total
there.
Anarchy. What is it? What if I steal a Coke, but I needed to drink it because I'm a diabetic?
Yeah, something's going on there.
Okay.
Well, look, we're going to take a break, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Hello. You are
all
listening
your candy today,
yeah,
for sure.
You are listening to the one and only Joe and Joe Show. We'll be back, okay?
we're back. Locally, the big news in Baton Rouge, so to speak, is the firing or the resigning of Joe Oliva.
Yes,
the
they
AD.
finally did it. They finally listened to us, what we were saying. The Joe and Joe show rides again.
And that the new AD is Scott Woodard, a local boy, Catholic High LSU grad who came from Texas A&M. They say he did such a great job at A&M getting Jimbo Fisher and this and that. Well, he didn't,
something that LSU dropped the ball on, by the way.
right, when they could have got Jimbo here, but I think they wagged the carrot in front of him over there at A&M for $75 million. I don't think they'll ever win a national championship. He'll be gone before that probably. But anyway.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay. Well, okay then. That's great. Go Aggies. But anyway, the problem to me, which everybody else was screaming about, was fire Oliva and fire F. King Alexander, or would that be F. pound mark, question mark, exclamation mark?
I don't know.
King Alexander. I mean, people have a problem with the AD. He's the one that stalled the Les Miles firing, and then they bungled that and bobbled that and fired him in the middle of the season.
So that was both Oliva and F. King Alexander that bungled that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Well, no, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but I think it was more F. King Alexander. I think Oliva had his eggs in a basket, so to speak, to punt for Easter.
I don't know. Has Oliva ever had his eggs in a basket?
Yeah. Well, he was a East Coast Duke guy. I don't think he ever really fit in down here. Now they're going to keep him on salary and make him a fundraiser with the president. Those guys don't raise funds.
So he just resigned positions. He's not like being ran out the program.
No, he just resigned, so to speak, and it was a behind the scenes thing that they did it with, and the board met, and then some members of the board didn't know, have a vote on it, and here it is. This is what we're going to do, and if take what you get and don't throw a fit type situation.
Yeah, it sounds like a great system of checks and balances. I'm proud of them.
It's LSU. I think, and I always say this, and I hate to say this, Little Joe, but in my obituary, he liked Oklahoma. He loved Oklahoma football. He loved the L.A. Dodgers. As you see all these bits, his wife tolerated him, and then I wanted to put it,
what?
Old Joe tolerated LSU sports. I mean, it's been like that since I can remember.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it is what it is.
I'm indifferent. To me, they're just another team. Don't get me wrong. That's why I feel like if you tune into the Joe and Joe show, you get that objective look at LSU. But for the most part, I really wish them the best. And maybe this guy, from A&M is the guy that's going to help them turn the corner athletically. But, I mean, how much more corner can you turn? You have a great program. The baseball team is at least formidable. I mean, the women's sports, even though it doesn't generate much money, the women's sports does very well.
Right.
I mean, and then let's see, you got, the basketball team. We don't have to talk about that. And, of course, the cash cow, money-generating football team,
right.
That's one thing I was thinking. That's why maybe they got these friends in high places that look the other way, because LSU to the NCAA, LSU is just a cash register, dude.
Right there. But
Good
listen,
God.
This guy's coming into a great situation. Will Wade will not be investigated, will not have to testify when the trials go on for the rest of these guys. They got their men. Christopher Dawkins and the people else, those guys are already in jail, but the one who's really going to suffer for it, they're saying, is Sean Miller from Arizona, who say they have him legitly paying his players to play for them, not just getting them there with big money, paying the players, and that's not a good thing if you get caught. But Scott Woodard's coming into a situation where, hey, Will Wade's back, recruiting season going on. The Tigers may lose a few to the NBA draft. He doesn't have to deal with that problem.
Reload.
The
reload.
problem he has to deal with is Huggy Bear's daughter there, I believe, at LSU, the women's basketball coach, Nikki Fargas. She has to be under the close watch of not winning anything here in her tenure. So that's going to be the next, I think, the toughest move he's got to do. And like you said, the women's program, the softball women are up there in the top 10, and the gymnastic team, didn't fare that well in the NCAA Final Four, but they were supposed to win. But the Oklahoma women's gymnastics team won the whole enchilada again. They're always perennial champs in that situation, as is the men.
Well, we want to send our best out to those teams, and I know they worked hard.
Yeah.
But now it's time to switch gears a little bit. Joe, you ready?
Well, let's switch gears. Let me just one more shout out to the STEC, South Texas Eye Center, little Ethan Guerra's team, my son Rick Guerra's team. They split with the top team in the standings. They split series this week. They won one, lost one, so they're still in the thick of things. And
how long does their season go? How long?
I think their season goes to the end of May.
Yeah,
so they got about 6-7 more games.
That would
left.
make sense. That would make sense.
I'd like to give out shout out to Lance Corporal Heath Mendoza, as we always do. Godspeed to you over there in Okinawa, Japan. Who I heard he's going to get a massive tattoo on his arm. So
I want a big
go ahead, you
eagle
jarhead fool.
on my chest.
Go ahead, you jarhead fool.
And I'd like to give some shout outs real quick to our new subscribers. Anybody that's hit us up. I'd also like to give a shout out to one of my oldest friends. I'm not going to say your name. He hit me up on email talking about we should get our domain name. Yeah, I've checked into that. Thank you for checking us out. I'd like to give a shout out to my cousin Chris. I'd like to give a shout out to my grandma. Those are our new subscribers. It's good to know that people are actually listening to us. I'd like to give a shout out to my aunt and uncle. You know who you are. Uncle Tommy, Aunt Fee. They're actually big fans of the show. They say they look forward to watching the show. I can't believe that. But you know what? That's what we were after. If we get anybody else outside the family, oh great, kudos to us. But you know what? We want to entertain y'all. We hope that y'all are getting the best entertainment out of us. At the end of the day, yeah, we get all political and stuff. The most you could do is educate yourself. Be unafraid to talk about these type of things and vote accordingly. That's it. That's all we can do until things really change, until there's some type of really, big upheaval. I'm not going to say what I want to say, but that's all we can do. And we can be family and we can talk to each other.
Family.
And I'm talking to you and you know who I'm talking about.
The demographic, the family. And I talked to someone yesterday who said they can't listen to the political end, Little Joe. It's just too scary for them. Well, we're not trying to scare you. We're just trying to inform you what's out there. Like I said last weekend, show number 12, which is out on the airwaves as of this morning, show number 12, I said, hey, listen, man, all this fake news and all this other stuff, I mean, it gave you an example of a racist CNN and excuse me, stare on that. I guess you'll have to edit that for all the little buckaroos. But I mean, just all these people that stir up all this stuff, and it's it's untruthful. I mean,
look, one thing
you can believe the weather if you can. They canceled schools Thursday because of the big storm. They didn't need to do that.
I can't even believe the weather. But look, you got to remember one thing about the news, and this is why I'm thinking about tiptoeing about certain things, or just giving a general description and moving on, because all your news in America, whether you believe it or not, whether you think, you've seen some underground stuff or not, dude, all your news is censored. They're not going to let anything hit the internet. They're not going to let anything hit the radio waves. They're not going to let anything hit the newspapers without somebody looking over it and be like, yeah, this is okay. And they'll allow a certain amount of stuff. They'll allow just a little bit because they want that dissension. They want that, left-right paradigm. They want that, they want you to feel like you have somewhat of a voice, So anyway, now look, moving on, Joe, if we're ready.
Yeah, I mean, you got some topics
we got time.
Yeah,
look, I've been wanting to talk about this, and ladies and gentlemen, we have to oppose this at every turn. Now, this is from... Let's see the actual article. Let's see it. I call this Activist Posts, Alternative News, and Independent Views. Now, here's the headlines. It's done by B.N. Frank. I don't know. So look. So here we go. It's January 8th, 2019. But it pretty much is still relevant. Details about the 20,000 satellites earmarked for beaming 5G radiation at U.S. from space, and why this is a bad idea. Yeah, this is an older article, but check this out. It's just some stuff that you might not have known. All right? So there's 20,000 satellites for 5G to be launched, sending focused beams of intense microwave radiation all over the entire Earth. Gee, what could possibly go wrong with that, Joe? What could possibly be wrong with that? So, if you weren't already familiar with the 5G, the research has already proven that exposure is harmful to people, animals, and nature. That's right. Your pet, your cat, your bird, or whatever will be harmed also. Plants, yeah, nature. Reports of illness from exposure to 5G have already been reported, and a 5G court case was already won in England. Now, we're not talking out of our heads here. This is already going on. You know, in downtown Baton Rouge, they're installing 5G, the little light pole looking things all over downtown Baton Rouge. And that's something that the city council had said, yeah, because they got a kickback from the telecom industry, and the city council was like, oh, yeah, 5G, yeah, whatever. And so they started installing stuff, and they're like, hey, what's going on? Hey, you signed off on it, dumbass, remember?
Hey, you know? Well, you can't have 5G without all these satellites. We have 4G now.
No, well, the thing is, and this is what, I have to be careful on. The 5G is military, like a military weapon technology.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with you getting faster download speeds.
Right.
This is, better to control you with. They could do all this other crazy stuff with 5G. But let's stay on topic. The FCC gave approval back, to these SpaceX. They launched the satellites and all this stuff.
Right.
To launch 4,425 satellites into low orbit around Earth. Okay? 4,425 satellites. That's even if you were putting like 2 and 3 up a day, you're still like behind.
Wow.
Goodness gracious, they must be beaming them every like 6 hours.
Yeah, okay, so these things are floating around in the Earth's atmosphere and going around the globe. They won't run into each other,
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean,
into
space,
the atmosphere.
They say space is infinite.
Satellite fall on your house.
Yeah, they say space is infinite. They really must mean it.
There's a bunch of trash out
but
there.
Not only that, if it's a weapon system already, that means that's it. Space is weaponized already.
Oh, yeah.
Or they're weaponizing it under the cover of rolling out 5G.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm beginning to think. So let's finish on the article. The article provides more references as to why 5G is a bad idea on Earth as well as in space. In the U.S. and elsewhere, outdated legislation and guidelines protect all sources of wireless radiation, not the public or the environment. Let me say that again. Pretty much all of the legislation and guidelines protect the sources of wireless radiation, not you, the consumer, not the public or the environment. Okay, then of course this includes 5G. So just because all these wireless sources are legal doesn't make them safe. Okay? Like the fat substitute Olestra is legal too. That didn't mean you'd risk intestinal mayhem and eat anything made with it. Please consider signing the petition to stop 5G. I'm sure there's petitions everywhere now. So we're going to post some links of some videos, of course, below. You can click on us right now. If you click off on us right now if you want and go watch the videos. It's going to be talking about 5G. You're going to have like biometrics guys or chemists or whatever they call themselves talking about 5G and the dangers of 5G in front of Congress. Okay, so you've been warned. Educate yourself. And next topic.
Wow, 5G, that's a really scary thing. To have all those satellites and you're eventually going to launch more out there. They'll be flying all around, 5G, killing animals, killing your brain waves that you sleep with. Killing the plants, everything, vegetation.
It's 5G like on every street corner. Why do they need that? I'm not the one that's look, I'm gonna leave my wireless provider if you don't give me that 5G. No, you never heard me say that.
It's gonna cost you more.
Who even knew about 5G? It's like, well, if I ain't got that 5G, well man, my life's just gonna like go down the toilet. If I ain't got that, if I can't download that movie in 2 seconds versus 10 seconds, well then I just got to get rid of this phone. I'm gonna change my wire. Hey, does T-Mobile have 5G? I'm going to T-Mobile.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't even have these things. Then when I go to the internet on this thing, it comes up pretty quick, faster than that laptop or faster than my PC at home,
Or
so to speak.
just as fast, as fast.
And I'm proud of it. I can get an answer real quick. What was the final score of the Yankees Cardinals game 1964?
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
One last thing
Series.
I am going to say on it, because 5G is backed by the telecommunications industry right now. Unless you know exactly what you're looking for, you're going to see a lot of stuff, a lot of people, a lot of alphabet media, CBS, CNBC, and stuff like that supporting 5G, because guess who they're backed by? They're all in cahoots. So just, educate yourself on the actual dangers of 5G, who's actually telling you about the dangers, who's actually come up with evidence of the dangers, and be leery of the ones that are just saying, well, you get this and you get that from 5G, So anyway.
It's going to cost you more, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to cost you more in the long run. Okay. All right.
You heard it first. Not first here, but I mean, that's just another slant we're trying to give you some information on. Whether you can take it or not, Joe and Joe, you guys are out there.
Yeah.
Your brain is full of 5G or whatever, but no, bottom line is just trying to inform you what's out there.
Your face is
like
full
anything.
of 5G.
There you go.
All right, we're going to take a break, everybody.
That's
and
it.
We're going to go ahead and close out the show, say our last little Easter goodbyes, maybe talk a little more sports. We'll be right back.
Okay. Don't go away. Okay, we're back. Hope you didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I hope you didn't go click those videos just yet. But if you did, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad at you.
That's it. Hottest tropics north of the tropics, as we always say. Excuse me, a little frog in the throat there. But anyway, I wanted to talk what's coming up here nationally and sports-wise. The biggest event of the rest of the month will be the NFL draft.
Oh, the draft. I was wondering. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
It's besides MLB baseball, which is going
baseball,
on.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, all the projections, all the prognosticators all have Kyler Murray going to the Cardinals at the first round draft pick. So that if that's true, hey, quarterbacks in the United States, come to Oklahoma, you'll be a Heisman winner and a first round draft pick.
That's it. Jalen Hurts is there now. Hopefully, that will be in the ring for the Heisman.
Well, wouldn't that be something?
Hopeful. Man,
wouldn't that be something?
My gosh, it's unbelievable.
They couldn't. That could not happen.
And then to play Alabama, say in the CFP, then beat them this year with our new defense, that'd be great.
Listen, Jalen got to show me something. And I'm not saying under the Lincoln Riley system it's not possible. He's got to show me an accurate arm. Okay. He's got to show me some accuracy, and that's why I'm trying to think. Or they might just play short ball with him. But let's get back to the draft.
I know. Get back to the draft. But let me ask you one question. It's not the draft. Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. You got a comparison?
Hurts. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, there's not.
But Joe Burrow can run too, just like Hurts. And scramble and get out of the pocket.
I am not taking anything away from Joe Burrow. I think he's a top 10 type quarterback, and he'll probably go in the second round, maybe third round next year. But I will say this: if you gave me a choice, it's Jalen Hurts all day long. I'm sorry.
That's all. That's
it's not
all
even
I
close.
wanted to know. I mean, I thought Joe Burrow last year would be in second, third team All SEC. But anyway, back to the draft. You say Kyler Murray, then you say there's a lot
Brown,
of other
There's Marquise Brown. I saw Devin White. He's pretty high up there.
Right.
I
Devin
saw
and Greedy
Williams. I saw Greedy Williams, and then of course we had Cody Ford.
Yeah, Cody Ford. He's from Alexandria, Louisiana.
Yeah, it was
that.
3
and went to
Oklahoma
for 3 years, 4 years.
It was Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, and Cody Ford, and it was Devin White, Greedy Williams, and I think that was it for LSU.
Yeah, Joey Bosa.
Joe Bosa
there from
and
Ohio
poor
State.
dude, he didn't even play his last Wait, did he play this year? I thought he got hurt like early in the season.
Yeah, he got hurt early.
He got hurt early in the
season. He went back and played. I think he saved him for the draft.
I
think it was a pectoral thing that
and that's a serious thing. Once you tear that pectoral,
once you build those muscles up like that. But I mean, the rich will get richer in the draft.
Yeah, they will.
And I don't know who the Cowboys are taking, but to me, on the Cowboys end, for those Cowboy fans out there in Texas and around the area, I think the Cowboys need more defense. I think their offense is fine.
Yeah, but they made that offseason trade for that guy from Miami. The defense is in from Miami. So I really think they are beefing up. But with Jason Garrett, I just listen. And they were in the playoffs last year, and they were hanging pretty tough.
Yeah.
So I will say that for the Dallas fans, they won it all. Yeah. And just making it to the playoffs ain't good enough anymore. Just like us, just like OU fans. Making it to the playoffs ain't good enough for us anymore.
And just like the Saints. I mean, the Saints were there. That debacle, the missed call, the no call. We went over that before. I think the Saints need to bolster up their defense also just a little bit. I couldn't name you one Saints stalwart, in the defensive realm that they have back there.
Yeah, but we don't follow the Saints. But check this out. One of the shows coming up, we're going to have a diehard Saints fan that knows his stats, his analytics. I mean, the dude could probably work for CST. Anyway, he's that good. So we're going to have him coming up probably next show because I wanted to cover the draft with him. So,
But, I mean, I just think that the NFL draft, after the first round or two, it's almost a wash. You're not really paying attention too much anymore.
Well,
it's a show. And
the draft is like signing day. It doesn't matter until you see that product on the field and you're like, man, who's that? Whoa, where'd he come from?
Right. Well, if I'll tell you what, if I'm a GM, I'm a head coach, and I was picking kids out, I'm going to go with the best athlete in the draft.
Yeah.
And I would think the best athlete in the draft, he can't play defense. I wish he could have at Oklahoma. I believe Kyler Murray. He's fast. He's quick. He's Russell Wilson type built, even the Breeze type built, and he's 4'2", 4'3" in the 40. I know he's got to bulk up for some. He got chased around a little bit here at OU, and I think if he goes number one, that's great. That's feathers in the cap for the program. Things like Little Joe was just saying. And we're not pro-OU. We bleed OU.
Yeah.
And
my
we
blood
bleed,
is actually red.
We bleed and thank LSU.
Right.
But I just think with a new AD, you still got to beat Saban.
Yeah.
And
that's not
I hope he's recuperating well. Nick, he had some hip surgery. You think he's calling any shots while he's laying in his hospital bed?
No, he doesn't have to. Not right this very second. But you never know. Like guys like that.
I don't know, man. He's 24/7, 365.
Guys like that are married to the program.
24/7,
but
365.
you know who's like that? Riley's like that with Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
Riley's like that with Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean,
so is like Dabo at Clemson and stuff like that. I mean,
I think you have to be that way.
If you're a big time coach in this business, man, you're married to these teams. Sorry, that's your job. That's your baby. That's what you are building.
Coach O's doing? Eat a little crawfish today down there in Galliano.
Today we're gonna eat.
We're going down there to Homer and get that crawfish. It's cheaper.
Yeah, my wife got the Jack Daniels on ice.
I love Coach O, but I can't understand a word he said. My wife always say, "What did he say?" I said, "Go Tigers." That's all I say at the end.
Yeah, he's a good dude though. He really is a good guy. I really wish LSU football the best this year. And dude, it's that time for them to beat Alabama. I mean, they're going to beat Alabama.
It's about time. Well, listen, one thing about Coach Orgeron was his last name is synonymous with a guy that my sister dated, O'Neill Orgeron, who came to be a doctor. So there might be some kin there down there. He was from the same area.
Wait,
that out there.
Kin to who? That your sister dated him? They're kin to you now?
Yeah, my sister dated O'Neill Orgeron when she was in high school, and this guy was going to college at LSU to be a medical doctor, which he was. He's already retired. They hooked up through Facebook a couple of years ago, and I forgot to ask her if O'Neill is any kin to Coach Orgeron. Orgeron, I mean, it's like Delatory. If you're Delatory somewhere here in Baton Rouge, you're kind of kin to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd
like to find that out. Yeah. But anyway, that's a sidelight. We're trying to close the show.
Yeah, we're trying to close it.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah, happy Easter, everybody.
All you diabetics, don't eat too much candy. All you kids, hope you find all your eggs in one basket. And don't forget tonight, say your prayers and drink all your milk, you little guys.
All right, bye, everybody. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Bye-bye.